Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Dr. P, a board certified OBGYN, and today we're talking about how to reduce belly after pregnancy without exercise. I'm excited to talk to you about this topic today because a lot of times after pregnancy, we have these concerns about our bellies and our bodies, and we want help. And so I'm here to offer you some information today. So by the end of this video, you'll understand the changes that your body undergoes with pregnancy. You'll understand the role of our hormones as far as postpartum recovery and changes that happens postpartum. You'll learn strategies to help to lose weight and how help you to have realistic expectations when it comes to our bellies postpartum. So let's dive into this topic today. All right, so we get pregnant, we have a baby, we love our baby, we love our families tremendously, but then we don't love our bodies. And it's understandable, because pre-pregnancy, you were a person with a body that you were probably used to for a very long period of time. And then with pregnancy, things dramatically change in under a year, where you may gain an excess of 30, 40, 50, 60 pounds easily just in under a year. And you're just like, what is happening? I'm out of control. My body is out of control. I'm unfamiliar with this temple of mine. It is normal. And I promise you that each and every female undergoing pregnancy experiences the same changes. Sometimes we welcome the weight because maybe we were smaller and we wanted more weight, right? Have you seen, or are you that person where you're like, I'm happy for the hips, I'm happy for how I look now. But then you may be on the other side where you're like, I was in a nice place. I loved the way my body was. I loved the way my tummy was. And it's not like that anymore. Regardless of the side of the spectrum that you may fall on, there are ways and things that we can do to help with those changes that may occur. Now, physiologically, you are growing a human being internally when you're pregnant. Physiologically, we need to make room for this growing baby. And so because of that, our bodies will support that pregnancy by creating enough cushion. We want to create enough fat and nutrients and blood flow. We make so many changes to help this growing baby. And a part of that means that our abdominal wall needs to expand. And so with that, you have skin on the outside that stretches to accommodate. We have muscles below that stretches to accommodate. We have something called a fascia. The fascia is a very thick layer that sits in our abdominal wall. And what it does is it helps to contain all the organs on the inside. And so what organs are we talking about? We're talking about the bowels, lots of it. We're talking about the kidneys and your stomach and your pancreas and your liver. We're talking about your uterus, your fallopian tubes, your ovaries. I mean, we have a lot inside. And that fascia helps to keep everything internal and not stretching out loosely, to say the least. And so the fascia specifically, when we have the stretch to the fascia, it doesn't directly and easily tighten up post-pregnancy. And so let's fast forward. You complete your pregnancy, you deliver your baby, you complete postpartum periods initially, and say we're 6 months postpartum, and you're just like, for some reason, if I relax my tummy out, it can stretch as far as it did in pregnancy very easily. The reason is your body remembers where it was at its greatest pregnant state. Your fascia remembers where it went at its greatest stretch. The same for your muscles, the same for your skin. And so as you go through postpartum, even if you've never focused on strengthening that area, you will be prone to your body expanded to that same depth or that same degree a year postpartum, 10 years postpartum, 30 years postpartum. And so what do we do about this? Because it sounds like a pity party. We don't want a pity party today. I want you to be empowered and to know that there are things that you can do to help to tighten and strengthen your abdominal wall. All right, so how do we help our abdominal wall without exercise? Now, I'm going to tell you, because I'm a holistic OBGYN, because I'm all about the physical as well as the diet, I'm going to tell you that your best course of action for sure will be a combination of dietary changes as well as exercise. All right. But if you're like, listen, I don't have time for the exercise, I don't have the resources to be able to do this efficiently. Maybe you're just not confident in the gym or confident using weights. I understand all of those. And so if that's the case, we can focus on our dietary lifestyle in order to help to strengthen the abdomen. And the way that you do this is that you want to support your system with the things that it needs to be able to nourish your cells well. So the first thing that I want you to do is to cut out and eliminate processed foods. Processed foods will add more insult to injury, if I may say, because all of the components of processed foods, all the fats that your body does not do well with, they affect your cells, your muscles, your blood vessels that are responsible to bring the blood and bring the flow to your organs. They affect all of those things. And if we want to get our fascia and our muscles and our skin to tighten, having these bad fats around in your system will do the opposite and cause more weakness in your abdominal wall, not strengthen them. And so we want to eliminate all those fried and fatty foods that are fried in oils that are processed and not healthy for your body. So you want to cut out all those saturated fats. You want to cut out everything. If I were to tell you the recommended fats that you should use in your diet, there will be one of three things: avocado oil, coconut oil, or olive oil. All the other oils are dangerous for our abdominal wall, but really for our entire body and our entire system. And so we want to eliminate those. We want to incorporate lots of lean protein. In general, females don't eat enough protein. And it's a problem because protein is the building block of our cells and our organs, our muscles, our joints, everything. So if we don't have enough protein, we're not giving our bodies what it needs to maintain our structures well. And so lean protein is important because lean means less fat. Fat oftentimes stores additional hormones from the organs or from the animals that it came from. So for instance, if you have a fatty piece of chicken, for instance, all the fats that are in between those meat, the tendons, the muscle of the animal that we're eating will incorporate all the hormones and the fat from what the animal carried in their system. And so essentially what happens is that you're eating all of those extra hormones that will weaken your system over time. And so we want lean meats to eliminate those excess fats that are there. Next, you want to incorporate lots and lots of fiber. Fiber, believe it or not, helps to strengthen your system, strengthen your bodies by eliminating excess anything. So when we think of hormones, we know that hormones are broken down in our bodies and they are set for either activity, meaning that it should do what it needs to do in your body, or excretion, meaning that it needs to be eliminated. And it does that through your colon, through your feces, through your stool. And so eating enough fiber allows your body to get rid of all things excessive and things that are not needed by your body and eliminates them. When you do that, you're helping to remove things that your body doesn't need. And once you remove the junk, then your body can internally process things normally. The last thing that I want to say is that you want to hydrate well. Hydration actually helps to remove anything excessive as far as fluid retention in your body. We know that postpartum, we know that after having a pregnancy, we have the tendency to retain a lot of excess fluids. And we can see those in our skin, in our arms, in our abdomen, in our feet, in our legs. And if we hydrate well, Hydration actually helps us to remove excess fluids. If we have excess fluids in our abdomen, then we are prone to gaining more weight in our abdomen, and our bellies expand even more. And so it may seem counterintuitive, but when you drink more water, it helps to remove more water from your body. And so hydration is super important. It is recommended that you drink at least 3 liters of water per day. That's nearly a gallon. Yes, it's a lot of water. But if you've ever heard of people doing like a water challenge, you'll see that people will have a huge reduction in their abdominal wall and size and body overall just by making sure that they drink about a gallon of water per day. You do that for a month and come back here and tell me how your abdomen feels and looks, because water is that important in how we strengthen our abdominal walls, especially after pregnancy. Another recommendation that I have is to breastfeed. Breastfeeding uses up anywhere between an additional 500 and 800 calories per day. That is 800 calories that you don't have to burn and exercise to balance off the energies in and out so that you can lose that abdominal weight. Breastfeeding helps to tighten everything in your pelvic and abdominal area. It helps to bring the fascia stronger, your abdominal wall and muscles to make them stronger, and it helps you to feel balanced again down there. And so it is free calories being burned, and I recommend highly that we do this as much and for as long as you possibly can, so that your body is getting that extra help to return to pre-pregnancy states and going back to the strength that you originally had in your abdominal wall. There are so many other things that you can do. Sleeping well, making sure that you're not stressed out, which is hard when you are a new mom. It's hard when you have children. It's hard when you have a family. But in addition to all of those things, I know you might be thinking, well, Dr. P, what about a wrap for my abdominal wall? Can I just do a wrap? Can I get a wrap of any kind to help my structure? And I'm gonna say that yes, you can use a wrap. Wraps may help to give you support in that area. Sometimes it helps you make you feel like you have more control over your abdominal wall. But what I would tell you is that adding a physical structure to your abdomen does not structurally strengthen it. If anything, sometimes it can actually make it a little weaker. If you notice, once you remove, or if people remove the wraps, how do their bodies look an hour to 2 hours later? Right where they started. Because it actually does not structurally strengthen your abdomen. It may temporarily make it look as if it is smaller, tighter, stronger, but structurally, your abdomen is actually the same. So people wearing wraps often just continue wearing wraps long term because structurally, you're actually not benefiting. Now, those are the tips that I have for you today. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I do recommend a combination of physical exercise as well as dietary changes to help to support your system and get your belly to be smaller or closer to what it was pre-pregnancy. If you need assistance with this and you're just like, I don't like to do this by myself, what do? I have a course that is highly discounted that I'm offering you today. It's called Madam Estrogen, that I'm offering you today highly discounted because you're watching. Click the link below this video and I'll send you information. And with this course, I help you along the way to get back to your hormonal state that your body functions at its best, as well as exercising and the dietary changes that you need to do to help you get to that point. And I'd love to send that over to you. Thank you so much for listening today, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video. Take care.